Hey, welcome everyone. This is Shane. This is Vested Interest. I thought I'd do something a little bit different tonight. I'm going to run through, I was going to put together actually a presentation over companies 13Fs, Bridgewater and Berkshire Hathaway specifically, but I figured rather than just cutting and pasting out the sections of their 13F, we just go ahead and look at that and exactly how I would look up these companies. So we'll do that real quick. So literally just type in, Berkshire Hathaway 13F. There it is. We'll click on it. 13F brings it up. Berkshire Hathaway. So we'll go to this Whale's Wisdom. It should take you right to their 13F. Top, so it tells you top buys, top sells, 13F, see all holdings. Let's go click over to see all holdings. All right. All right, so as you can see in this 13F, there's Berkshire Hathaway is holding Apple. It's 42.73% of the portfolio. You see that there. BAC, that's Bank of America, I believe. Let's just, again, if we don't know what it is, you type it right in here. BAC stock. Yeah, Bank of America. That's what I thought. Okay, so let's go back to the Berkshire Hathaway's 13F. Then I'm not going to read all these. I'll just tell you the one. AXP is a finance company. It's 8.65% of the portfolio. KO, that's for Coca-Cola. It's a consumer staple. 7% of the portfolio. Kraft Heinz Company, KHC. And I know some of these just because I own them, right? KHC I own. VZ, Verizon. USB is a bank. Bank of America I own. I don't own Apple. I don't own AXP. Let's look at some of the other ones here. And then this is what I would do. I would go down through Berkshire Hathaway's 13F, and if any of these companies, I don't have in my portfolio, I might add them to a research list. General Motors, I don't believe they pay a dividend. I wouldn't be interested in that. CVX Energy, I own some CVX. Kroger, KR, you can see Kroger. V, I believe, is for Visa. I don't own Visa. That would be one. But if you see here, you can also see he's sold off 425,000 shares of Visa. Here in CVX, he's bought 5,579 shares. So for right now, anyway, as of the second quarter, I believe this was the second quarter. Let's read. Berkshire Hathaway, run by legendary billionaire investor Warren Buffett, is a holding company engaged in a number of diverse business activities. Buffett is regarded as the ultimate value investor, following the Benjamin Graham approach to finding value. Berkshire's 13F holdings are often held for years and even decades at a time, with low turnover and high conviction top holdings. Berkshire's portfolio is a popular investment model for back testing and copying. If you're into copying, this would be a portfolio you might look at, and you could pick out some of these companies that interest you. We're not going to go through all of them. Snow, I actually believe, it doesn't pay a dividend either. So some of these, not all these, pay a dividend. AbbVie, that's a popular. BMY, Bristol Myers Squibb, that one's in my portfolio. So this is showing 1 to 5 of 47 rows. So let's go to the second page real quick and see what else is in the 13F. Store is a REIT in real estate. That one's in my portfolio also. No change there. GL is another finance. Buffett's big into finance. RPRX is healthcare. I'm not sure what that is, but he just bought 13 million more shares of it. So it might be something for you to look at if you're looking for something in the healthcare sector. Siri, I don't know if that pays a dividend or not. Some of these I'd have to look up. J&J is no change, but it's in there. Procter Gamble, that's another one in my portfolio. I have a couple shares of Procter Gamble. And then here's some other ones that I find interesting. The SPY, I believe that's an ETF, and the VOO is another ETF. And I don't have any ETFs in my portfolio, but I might take a look at these if they pay a dividend. Merck, the MRK, that's another one I've got in my portfolio. He actually sold off 9,157,000 thousand shares of Merck. So that one might be. He doesn't think it's good to hold right now. He's basically sold out 100% of his position. You can see that there. So this is 113F that I like to look at to see, what Warren Buffett's investing in. He's been much more successful than me, and he's been doing this for a long time. So through a lot of market crashes, right? So he may, especially the ones that he's bought recently, that might give you an idea of what he thinks going to do well over. So that's FND is consumer discretionary. And let's just look up what is FND, right? So I would look up FND stock. Floor and Decor Holdings. All right, so they apparently do floor and decor. So might be worth a look for you. I don't know if let's look and see. They pay a dividend. Their PE is 48.6. Wow, that's a pretty high dividend, or that's a pretty high PE. Anyways, let's get back to the 13Fs. And this is how I would do it too. That I'd start down these rabbit holes. Rather than going out and looking for the next conspiracy theory, I go out and look at the next stock I want to add to my portfolio. So let's look at another one. Another one I look at from someone I respect is Bridgewater. And if you don't know, Ray Dalio is the founder of Bridgewater. Good book by Ray Dalio called Principles. Principles, if you want to check that out. Chairman of Bridgewater's. Again, he's been investing since '75, so been around for a while. Been through a few market turns. Let's check out what Bridgewater Associates has in their 13F. Now I will say I've looked at these in the past, and Bridgewater Associates has hundreds, or at least last time had over 100 different positions. So we're not going to look at them all. But Bridgewater Associates is based out of Westport and is run by Ray Dalio. Like we said, Bridgewater Associates is a hedge fund with over 105 clients and discretionary assets under management of 223. What is that, trillion? That's a lot. Their last reported 13F filing, is that true? That's billion, right? Billion, 223 billion. Their last reported 13F filing for quarter 3, 221 included 18,264,176,000 in managed 13F securities. Top 10's holding concentration of 38.39%. So the top 10 holdings make up the majority of this. And if you noticed in Berkshire Hathaway's, let's just go back, their top holding was actually, let's go back to number 1 here. Their top holding was Apple. If you saw that, Apple Information Technology, they do pay a small dividend, but it's 42% of their portfolio. That is a large portion of the portfolio in one. And again, this is Warren Buffett, and I'm surprised to see that. That is more than I allocate to one position by far, 42.73% in his Apple position. That means he really believes Apple is going to knock it out of the park, I would assume. But no change. He hasn't added to it. He's not selling USB. Okay, go back to Bridgewater real quick. So let's do the same. Let's go into Whale Wisdom at Bridgewater's 13F. Here again, their top buys this since 9/30/2021. So again, would have been the end of the third quarter. EEM iShares, I believe this is an ETF, 4.78%. IEMG, again, I believe this is another ETF. VWO, Vanguard, these are ETFs. BABA, that's actually a Chinese company. Alibaba Group. So these are all recent purchases. Here's what he sold: Walmart, Johnson & Johnson, Procter Gamble. So he's offloaded some of his Procter Gamble. That's a pretty that's I believe a dividend aristocrat or dividend king, maybe even. Procter & Gamble, and pays a pretty good dividend. They're in my portfolio. J&J as well. Sold off some of the SPY as well, which is another ETF. That's interesting. So let's look at it, a couple pages of his holdings. Like I said, 33 pages. I'm not going to go through all 33 pages, but we'll do 2 so that we at least get a equal comparison to Berkshire Hathaway. So again, his main holdings, none of them take up very much of the portfolio. 6.42%, 5.56%. So this would be his largest position. VWO, I believe that is a ETF. Let's look that up real quick. VWO stock. Yeah, Vanguard Emerging Market Stock Index Fund. So emerging markets. Now I will say, actually, to think of it, if you wanted to get into emerging markets or international markets, an ETF may be a good way to do it. I know there is some worry about, some people have about owning foreign stocks, but maybe an ETF is a good way to get exposure to that market, and that would be one you could put on your watch list. So here's some others. EEM. I'm not going to look at all these. The SPY, I know that's an ETF. I wouldn't be surprised if EEM is not an ETF. PG, Procter Gamble. Again, he sold. I guess not out of the whole position, but down 1% in Procter Gamble. So he still holds 4% in his. Baba, again, that's another one. That's a Chinese stock, Alibaba. That's surprising. He's actually bought more of that. J&J sold some of that, down 2% in his J&J Johnson & Johnson position. Coca-Cola, he added to. Pepsi, he added to. GLD is a materials. He added 47% in GLD. Is that a gold stock? GLD. Let's look at that one real quick. GLD stock. $174 per share. 52-week high of 183, low of 157. What is this? GLD, a complete provider. GLD shares exchange traded fund. Okay, that's another ETF. Must be in the precious metals. And so again, this is how I would find. I'm sorry, guys, I'm going off in a tangent, but you're getting to see the method behind the madness here. This is actually how I would literally go through a 13F, and I would look at each one of these companies that I wasn't familiar with. Pepsi, obviously, I think everyone's familiar with Pepsi, PEP. Costco, not in my portfolio. Pepsi, not in my portfolio, but on my watch list. If they ever do pull back, I may add them. MCD, I believe, is McDonald's. ABT, I think that's Abbott. That's a healthcare. He's added to that position. 73%, up 4% there. IVV added 27%. That's percent. So that's what that is, percent change here. So 71% in PDD. All right, that one strikes my. Let's look at that one real quick. PDD. Oh. PDD stock. Pinduoduo. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Pinduoduo Inc. Is that another Chinese stock? Maybe let's look at this. Sorry, guys, but I want to actually look at this one while I've got you on the. So let's look at what they say about this. Pinduoduo Inc. operates as a holding company which engages in the development and management of an e-commerce platform. Its Pinduoduo mobile application offers a selection of merchandise for buyers, acquisition, and engagement. The company was founded by Huo Lin Tsai and Zhang. I'm murdering these words, I'm sure. On April 20th, 2015, and is headquartered in Shanghai, China. There you have it. Yeah, another Chinese stock in Bridgewater's portfolio. So let's go back to. Oh, sorry about that. Let's go back to all the holdings. We're going to go to one more page and see what else he's put in there. CL, that's Colgate. He sold off a small portion of that, not even enough to really show up as a percentage change, but definitely looks 6,986 shares. That's a significant amount to you and I, but obviously not to this portfolio. HD is at Home Depot. Consumer discretionary up 135%. So that one would catch my attention. You know, he's added 135% to his position. Maybe put that one and do some more research. See why it is he likes that. Up 27% in JPM. That's JPM Morgan Chase. Again, here's another one. This one shows up in Bridgewater and Berkshire Hathaway's. BAC, right? Bank of America. He was up 23% there. Neo, I know that's another Chinese electric car company. Lowe's, LOW, ticker LO, Lowe's, 90 up 92%. I mean, that's another one I'd look at. Bidu, I don't know what that is, but he's up 70% in that position, so maybe another one to research. Again, these are all, I would look through these 13Fs as all and see what I liked about it. KMB, that's Kimberly Clark, down 1%, sold off 8,585 shares. Kraft Heinz Company again. So you're seeing some of the ones that are the same. He's up 9% on that position. He bought 203,000 shares. So what I do is I would look at both of these, Berkshire Hathaway, Bridgewater, whoever else you like. There's another one that I like. Hold on one second. Let me think about Scion Asset Management, and it's held by Michael Burry, right? Guy from The Big Short. You could look at that one too. Or ETFs that you like. I mean, you can pull up ETFs that you like and you can look at their holdings and do the same thing and see what they're selling out of, what they're buying into. And these are ways I get SYY, that's Cisco Corporation, I believe. I've got that in my portfolio. Recently added myself. He's up 12% in his position. So that would be another one you might want to look at. Go through these 13Fs. They put them out every quarter. It tells you exactly what they're buying, what they're selling. You don't have to have a subscription or pay money to get this information. You know, a lot of sources online available for you to look at, like I said. And this is how I would find stocks whenever I first got into investing. I didn't know what I looked at, so I would look at maybe Bridgewater and Berkshire. I'll see what they had similar, like the Kraft Heinz, for example. Both of them had in their portfolio. Several others they both had in their portfolio. And I would see what they had. Here's, I just copied and pasted some of the pages. I was going to put these into Berkshire Hathaway, location Omaha, Nebraska. I was going to put this into a presentation, but I figured I'd do it live. You could see how I actually research these, where I pull the information from, and what that looks like. So guys, that's really it for this video. I won't hold you here any longer. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing in this presentation should be considered financial advice. I am only sharing my opinion and investing journey for educational and entertainment purposes. Investing involves risk. You can lose money and should never invest any amount you're not comfortable losing. Always do your own research and invest based on your situation, circumstances, and selected criteria, or seek the advice and counsel of a certified financial advisor. Sorry guys, this one was a little sporadic, but I usually, here, I'll just show you real quick. I usually type up a little script that I read off of. Here's the last one from November 9th in a Word document. That way I've got all my thoughts in order, because I am a bit sporadic. I jump around, but it also works for me. So that's how I would go through and research 13F. What companies would you guys look at if you were going to look at a 13F? Are there any any investors you guys like out there? Like I said, Ray Dalio, I believe one of the better. Surprised to see him in a lot of Chinese stocks, but he does talk about his relationship with China in his book Principles. So I guess maybe I'm not as surprised, or shouldn't be surprised, based on that. And then, like I said, Bridgewater Associates or Berkshire Hathaway, I mean, with Warren Buffett. Those two are two that I look up. Who do you look up to in the investing community? And that's it for this video. If you made it this far, appreciate it. Thanks for sticking with me. And if you would, give this a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. I'd appreciate it. It helps the channel continue to grow. And I appreciate those who have already subscribed. I actually looked before this. There's 13 of you. So you are here for the madness, apparently. Or hopefully there's been some good tips along the way of companies to look at for your portfolios. And guys, this is Shane signing off, wishing peace and prosperity to you and yours. And remember, financial security comes to those who take a vested interest. We'll see you next time.